You're back after a long time, and it's a quick update. I'm just on leave right now, so I don't really have all my stuff to consistently record. But I'm back home for about another week and a half, so I might just drop some videos because I miss you guys. I miss uploading. It's a very fun part of my life, but I also have to spend some time with my family. I want to spend some time with my family because I miss them too. And so, yeah, I'm just here to talk about some stuff that happened to me during basic training, like some stories, some crazy things. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too in detail and like gonna put out governments because everybody went by their last name, and I'm not about that. Also got some of my gameplay on the screen from when I stream sometimes. I'm not sure if that's gonna come back. It might. I don't know. When I get my setup ready, if I have time, probably won't have that much time. It's my job. I'm a 92 golf. I cook. I'm a cook. I'm a chef. I like to chef, and I have a video planned. I'm not sure if it's going to be done because I'm waiting for my sister to come back from her vacation, and she's tired because it's a day. It's a day. Oh, oh, just text me asking if I'm okay, like randomly. Yeah, it's a thing coming back from overseas and stuff. But yeah, I hope y'all were doing good the time I was gone. And let's just I when I went to basic training, honestly, it wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad though. I quite enjoyed it. It was very fun. Very fun. It sucked. Very fun though. Literally first week, I got hurt. My shoulder got hurt because we did so many push-ups because our drill sergeant, he was just like, you guys, this is a position of attention. Don't move. That's all you gotta do. Stand still. And if somebody got in trouble, we all got it. That's literally his thing. One team, one fight. That's what was our thing. So if one person got in trouble, we all got in trouble for it, which was annoying because there was this one person who literally she would not stand still to save her life. To the point to where like the first week they were just like, "All right, nah, you keep messing up. We not going to get all these people. Keep punishing all these people." Because I got hurt. Literally, I got hurt because of it. And they told me to do stretches and ice and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna stretch and ice. It didn't hurt. It didn't help at first. I was being a little impatient. It took me about like a week until like I was like, all right, I gotta go to the doctor for this. So I went to the doctor, um, and they basically told me the exact same thing. And I was just like, all right, I keep stretching and icing. Didn't get better until about week 3, where my shoulder was feeling better. Of every day stretching and icing. And ice was sometimes hard to cut by, so it wasn't every day. So yeah, it wasn't every day. It wasn't every day. I don't know. Did I just quit? Just quit there? What happened? Oh, I was trying to ban somebody. I remember. I remember. Yeah, because there was I was trying to figure out how to do that on YouTube streams. But yeah. So they ended up moving her to a different company because she was a problem consistently, and they was tired of it, and we was tired of it. And it was just like she was the first person to get moved to a different company. We ended up having like 8 people move to a different company, and then we had like 3 people get moved to our company. My platoon specifically. We had a lot more that get to the company. We had a lot more moved out, but I'm talking about my platoon specifically. So, like one person, she got moved because she couldn't. She was not disciplined, like at all, in the slightest bit. She was not disciplined. Had us get messed up every day, every day. Whew, messed up. Luckily, we're not an infantry battalion. I mean, we were infantry battalion, but no one was infantry in our battalion at all. So they did take it light. I went to relax in Jackson also. That's another reason why they took it light. But yeah, it's we got messed up a lot though. There was times where we got messed up pretty bad. Like someone snuck in a phone one time. I actually know who snuck in the phone, but I didn't care enough to be like, hey, they got a phone. They also wouldn't have found out if my bunkmate didn't tell the drill sergeants that they had a phone. So they brought us all into a room and they called making the wall sweat. So they turned off the AC, shut the doors, shut all the windows, and made us do corrective workouts until we until some well one two people passed out. Literally two people passed out. Then they're like, all right, we gotta chill. So they literally brought it to the limit. There was two drill sergeants who literally didn't care about our well being, didn't care until they thought they can get in trouble. And the other drill sergeants were great. I mean, they're still fine. They had their positive points. Like one of them, she really liked to teach. So if you ask her a question, she'll answer it and she'll give you a good answer, like a detailed answer. She loved that. The other one, he was very funny. He was cool if you didn't do what you wasn't supposed to do, and he gave you like the hard truths, the honest truths. He literally said like most people aren't making out their first contract. He literally looked around the room. He's like, I can see you, and you not making out your first contract. Like it was crazy because we were just like we were already struggling, and then he told us that, and it kind of broke some people a little bit. But we all ended up graduating. Everyone in that I don't think one person in that room didn't graduate, but hey, that's on him, not me. I graduated. Shoot. Oh, he was very, very strict. Not strict. He honestly didn't really care. It seemed like most of the time we have to call like at ease whenever a drill sergeant would walk in. There's none other in the room. He'd walk in. He'd say, "Don't say it." Like he before he walked in, he said, "You don't say it," and then he and then someone will still say it, and then people will be like, he said don't say it, and he was like, I mean, they're not wrong for saying it, but I still said don't say it. So we wouldn't get in trouble for saying it when he said don't say it, but we would get in trouble for not saying it if he didn't say don't say it. There was definitely times where we got in very much in trouble because after we finished I'm jumping ahead. But after we finished the Forge, is one of the toughest ruck marches. We had to do 10 miles, which I'm going to have, when I get back to base, I'm going to have to do another 7-mile ruck march. It's going to suck, but so whatever. After we did the Forge, we got so used to, we were on the field for so long. It was like 3 days. It wasn't that bad, but we got used to not staying at ease whenever a drill sergeant came back because we were in the field, so we were not supposed to. And then we had one drill sergeant who went off on us. He's like, "You're not in the fucking field anymore, so you better get your discipline back." And we were just like, "You right. I ain't like him." A lot of people liked him. I ain't like him because he always went off on us for the littlest things, and it was just like, it wasn't unwarranted, but it was the level he went off on us. He went off on us ridiculously hard for the littlest things. It was like, I get like yelling at us for not doing what we're supposed to do. Did I not start? I didn't start the music. I did not start the music. That's why I was like, it's so quiet. Got some One Piece ambiance in the background for an hour. My dog's over here trying to move around and stuff. Yeah, he would always go crazy on us. Like, and it was like he went from 0 to 100 like so quick. And we had another drill sergeant like that. She was one of my drill sergeants. So how it works is every company had every company had, their set amount of drill sergeants. And so every platoon, we had 4 platoons. Every platoon had one senior drill sergeant and three other drill sergeants. Like, I guess support, I don't know how to call it. But we had my platoon ended up, one had surgery before the cycle started. So we started off with 3, our senior drill sergeant and then her. But she was also in school because she was working to get a promotion and stuff. So she was also like the other drill sergeant I mentioned earlier. She would go from 0 to 100 so quick. And it was ridiculous. We were just like literally just for not saying drill sergeant after I got scared for a second. I thought I was about to die. Just for not saying drill sergeant after the after saying, because you're supposed to acknowledge their rank or their title, but we didn't. So if you said drill sergeant, she'd say like, "Yes, drill sergeant. No, drill sergeant. Fuck you, drill sergeant." Like, she would say it so loud and so aggressively. It's like one, you don't got to go all that, do all that, because our other drill sergeants weren't doing that. Unless we really messed up, we weren't getting yelled at. our senior drill sergeant, he was probably the most relaxed out of them all. He was like, we'd still get messed up, but it was only when we didn't do what we are supposed. Like he'd be patient with us. He'd be like, because he realized we're trying. If we weren't trying, then he's like, all right, half rest or half right face, front leaning rest position move. Like we get messed up, and by messed up, I mean like we have to do like hella push-ups, like hella push-ups. And it was tiring. Like the first five were fine, then they kept putting us back, and then he'd be the one to put us in squat position. So when we were in squat position, that hurt. That hurt because we had to sit there for a while. It was like 5 minutes in squat position, at least. That hurt a lot. It wasn't too bad. Like it could have been worse. But still think he was being lenient on us. But it still hurt. It still hurt. So after so yeah, she was a problem. Like she ended up getting into a physical dispute with another trainee. So we ended up like they ended up she ended up leaving a little early, and like she really never showed back up. Like it was we really didn't see her, which is crazy because then we only had two drill sergeants for a while until my favorite drill sergeant came back from surgery. He ended up being my favorite drill sergeant. He was amazing. He sung cadence with us all the time, and it was like so much energy. He taught us things. Like he actually taught us things. Like I feel like we weren't actually taught things until he showed up. Like we were taught a few things, like some basic things, but like things we would actually need to know, like how to wear our hat properly or like our uniform properly and stuff like that. We weren't taught that until he showed up. He like literally first day he and then we also he wasn't the type to make us do workouts. He was the type to punish us like morally, like you make us. So the first day we came back from the forge. No, not the forge, it was the hammer, the first ruck march. We came back, we were all tired and whatever. Then he said all right, take off all your stuff like that you were wearing during the ruck. And so we took all of our stuff off except for me and another person. That guy was my homie. We was cool. And so we forgot to take off our knee pads. Well, I didn't forget. I was just like, you know what? These knee pads kind of useful. I'm gonna keep them on. But it wasn't a part of uniform, so I got in trouble for it. So I was like, all right, that's fair, that's fair. And then he said, you two are eating last. And I thought we were gonna have to do push-ups. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty fair. Because physical punishment, I guess it's not that bad, but it's also like for forgetting to take off your knee pads, that doesn't really require that much. So I was just like, all right, that's very fair. That's very fair. Like, and we had to eat last out of the entire company, so we were hungry. We were very hungry. Yeah, we were very hungry. Is this the time that I think this is the time I failed because we got a little distracted, but because I wasn't on ranked. Because that's literally the hardest step right there. But yeah, we were like oh, okay, that's fair. We were very hungry, but it was like this is very fair. Like I thought we was gonna get like punished for that, like physically. Then after that, like he really became my favorite real quick. Also, there weren't that many like black drill sergeants there. There was like two, and one of them literally didn't interact with us because he was in a different like platoon. No, three. But the one who would mess us up really bad, who didn't care. This one cared. Like you could tell he cared. He literally, you could see he was in pain. Like when our platoon wouldn't act right. And my platoon, for a while, we were the worst platoon. Because there were so many people who were in discipline, they would not listen. They would talk in formation. They were bad. They were bad. But we also fought a lot because we weren't near each other, like ever. We in the bays, we were split up between every other platoon. Every other platoon was together in the bays, except for us. We're fourth platoon, so I was split up with first platoon. Then we had like down the hall, the rest of like a couple of my platoon was split up with fourth platoon, or no, with what was it, second platoon. Then upstairs they had third platoon. The females were all together because they only had one bay. There weren't as many females as males. They only had one section of the bay. They had the rest of the upstairs, which I don't know how they made that work. How they had 4 platoons of females in one section of the base. I didn't know how they made that work, but they made it work. So when I'm thinking of a different time. Where was I at? Yeah, he was one of our favorites. Okay, then after that was when a person passed away. That was very sad. I'm not gonna tell that story because that was very sad. It hurt. She was literally right next to me in the information all the time, like roster number 413. She was 414, and it was sad. It was tragic. Her memorial was very sad. We went to it. Everyone was crying, literally everyone. It was just because she was so energetic, good person. You could just tell, but she had it rough. That's a part of the situation with the other drill sergeant who she was the person that she got physical with. So it was a whole bad situation altogether. Then let's see, after then we go to the Anvil, which is our second ruck march. There was not really much to happen. I mean, we had a hurricane there at one point, but it really just canceled our training for a couple days. We just kind of like took it easy. We did have to stand out in the rain because they were just like telling us like, oh, you got to be strong, you got to be, army strong. They didn't say that. They didn't say that once, but they just said you got to be strong, you got to be better than the weather, stuff like that. So then so the Anvil, we got in trouble for the dumbest thing. We had this one lady who couldn't count to save her life. Every time she would so we had to pull security and stuff. We were roaming guards. We had roaming guards. The roaming guards were supposed to count. And everyone else was supposed to be like laying down with their weapons and like being like, okay, we got this side, we're watching this side, we got this side. We were all doing that. She was roaming guard, and she swore she counted right, and we were missing one person. So they brought us down. The one drill sergeant who didn't play games, he was just like, I'm gonna let him figure it out. We were brought down in the middle of the night, all tired because it was the first night. I'm pretty sure we had 2 nights that time. It was the first night. We were all tired, and they are PGs. They're in charge of us. They're us, but they're put in charge of us. Like they're given leadership roles, like to be the leaders of us. So then after that, we this is just dumb. Okay. So they counted everybody, and then they're like, we're missing 2. There's 2 PGs, I mind you. They were like, we're missing 2. So they counted again. They're like, we're still missing 2. And so they counted again and again. They counted a total of 6 times. And then the drill sergeant on the second time was like, did you guys count yourself? They said yes. And so at the 6th time, he said, okay, get in formation. And so he counted, and we were all there, and he counted them, and those were the 2 we were missing. So they didn't count themselves. Even after he asked, they were too prideful to say, oh no, I didn't count myself. Did you count yourself? So they just kept counting over and over again, hoping the number would change. And we were just like, what is going on here? Why are you guys doing this? So we weren't the only platoon getting in trouble. There was other platoons getting in trouble. I'm just talking about my experiences. They sent us back. They said every hour you're coming back to do a count because our PGs can't count. So every hour we came back. We slept for an hour. Didn't even sleep, honestly, because we still had to pull security. But then every hour we had to come back and do a count and then go back. We had to be in uniform. So at that point we just didn't change. We were just like, all right, whatever. We're just gonna stay. We didn't change. I mean, that was dumb of me. Oh, that was dumb. Why did I do that? I could have died there again. I'm reckless. Look at, oh my god, I'm looking at my face. I'm looking. Y'all can't see it because my face cam is over it. But hold on, I gotta move my face cam actually because I don't like the positioning. I also lost mad weight. If y'all could tell if you see the old, look at the old video. I'm gonna go right here. Yeah, you see me over there and see me over here. But yeah, so I was so I was mad because I don't sleep well. I haven't slept well since I started basic training. So I was just like I was so mad because every hour we had to get up and go. I was so fed up. I was so fed up. And this is something the next story I'm not proud of, but after I finish this story, I was so fed up. I was just like, bro, these people don't understand what they're doing. Like they don't like they just they're in it for themselves. They don't care about the other people. Blah 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 stuff like that. I was so fed up at that point, and I kept it in. I was trying to keep it chill. I was like, things happening. This happens. Blah 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 blah. So then, um, was this the same one? Yes, this was the same one. We we have to the next night. The next night we were supposed to be pulling security. If we let any of the drill sergeants in, they were going to mess us up. So what happened? Ooh, is this the same? No, that was the hammer. I skipped a story. Let me go back to that after this. So he comes in. This is my favorite drill sergeant. He comes in. Well, he literally just walks right in. Walks up to somebody. Is like, give me your weapon. And we had dummy rounds in at the time. He's like, give me your weapon. He takes his weapon. He loads it. Shoots up in the air to everybody up. Go down to form up. Because he was let in the base. And we were not supposed to let him in. Like unless he gave the password and whatever. So not supposed to let him in. He just walked right in. And I was on the other side and I was like, how did he even get in? Turns out somebody fell asleep. Yep. Mad. Had me heated. So then he made us brush our teeth by the numbers. He made us stand out there for over an hour. It was like 3 hours until sunrise. And then he was like, all right, go back and change. And so it was cold, I mind you. It was cold in South Carolina in the wintertime. It was mad cold. So we had to get in and we couldn't change in front of anybody. So either we had to go to a porta potty that smelled like crap, like straight up, or we had to go to like in our sleeping bags. We had to change in our sleeping bags. So most people didn't change. I didn't change. I'll be honest. I was just like, I'm gonna just change what I need to change, and I'm good. Because I was just like, we gonna go home tomorrow. I'm gonna bite the bullet. We couldn't shower anyway, so I was like, I'm just gonna change my socks and be on my way. Oh yeah, change my socks, be on my way. It would be good. This is the one where I messed up and I didn't have the. It wasn't absorbing the soles because I didn't have all 4 of the bows. I only had 1 bow, and I didn't know what to do. Ooh, that had me hurt. It had me hurt because that was the run. That was the run. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. What this song is like. What's up, Leslie? So yeah, that one we were I was so mad after that. Because I was just like, y'all just can't do your job. You can't do your job. Even though I shouldn't have been that mad because I was falling asleep too. So I wouldn't have been that mad. But then also we were in groups of 3. So their group buddies, as we call them, their battle buddies, should have told them, like should have been like, hey, wake up. Because I think 2 people had to be awake. So 2 people had to fall asleep out of that group of 3 for that to happen. Which caused us during the forge to have to be in like 50% security at all times, 50 or 100% security. But that's for the future. So, back to what I thought of before. We had no, I forgot what I was thinking before. I forgot what I was thinking before. Oh no, I remember now. So we had a the drill sergeant who would mess us up bad, but like he was very blunt and stuff. During the hammer, he brought us all down because second platoon was doing something. We literally didn't do anything wrong. Second platoon did something, and then he messed us up bad. And then he was like, "You guys have 30 seconds to get back to your base." We didn't have 30 seconds. He knew damn well we weren't getting back in 30 seconds. So we ran back, and then he was like, "Nope, y'all didn't make it. Come back." And so he messed us up again. It was like a good like 40 something minutes of smoking, and that was right at the beginning. That was right at the beginning. We we got messed up, and ever since then I was like, oh, I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that. 40 something minutes of smoking, and then he wouldn't even do it with us. I at least respected the drill sergeants who did it with us. He would never do the workouts with us. He always looked at us do it, and like it was the worst because it was just like, bro, you're not even our drill sergeant. That's the worst part. We didn't mess up. He brought the entire company down for something second platoon did. For second platoon, because they had a lot of lights on during the night. It's like we were fine. We were perfect. Literally, like all drill sergeants were like, "You guys did great. You guys did a perfect job during the hammer." It was a shame. Like I was so mad at that. But yeah, story I'm not proud of. So there's this guy. He was very arrogant, but he was, it was cool. I was like, all right, I'm cool with you. Like we're fine. I was having a very bad day, and he liked to talk shit. So we had lunch duty, so we had to serve, and so we got like a rush because ain't nobody wanted no fruits or no vegetables. And so the guy who was on vegetables just sitting there waiting, and they just get right past to pancakes and syrup, and it was just me, and I had two pancakes, syrup, scoop syrup without making a spill, and I got backed up. So then he got pulled in, and then we started doing it, but then afterwards, whatchamacallit, I don't tolerate disrespect. I'll be honest with you, I don't tolerate disrespect. And I was ranting to another dude, like the guy 412. I was ranting because like he asked me if I was okay, and I was like, nah, bro, like I'm tired of this stuff, blah blah blah. People be doing this, people be doing that, and then I guess he thought I was talking about him because he was like 413. No, he was 411. He was 411. So he was over there with his group, and then I'm over here like talking to him, like talking to the other guy, and he's just like, he's like, with only blah 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 could serve some syrup, and I was like, bro, what the fuck you just say? So I walk over there because I didn't even hear what he said, but I heard my name come out of his mouth, and I was already pissed. And he has a tendency to be mad disrespectful, especially, and it's like, I come over there, I press him, I'm like, what'd you say? What'd you say? Say it again. And then he was just like, somebody get him out of my face before, and I was like, before what? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? So I literally pressed him. I was like pressing him. And then so, uh, it was, I'm not proud of this. So a drill sergeant, the one that I thought was honestly crazy. I thought he was gonna hurt us. I didn't even know what platoon he was with. I think he was just an extra drill sergeant. But, this gameplay is trash. Oh my goodness. I'm Shao Kahn and I'm just like disappointed in myself. But this Jax is garbage. Sorry, blue-footed doobie, if you were watching this. But we was both bad. This is some terrible gameplay. This is one of my early streams. Back when I used to do, gosh, bro, get this off my screen. I know I streamed Mortal Kombat 11 a little later than that. I know I did. That was terrible. This is terrible. Shoot. Yeah, so he pulled us apart, made us talk about it because we were one of the older people there, like, and he was just like, I didn't expect this from either of you guys, because the other guy was 23, I'm 25. So I told him the situation. Like he let me talk first. I told him the situation. I told him what happened. I was just like, this is not a him thing. I'm sorry. This wasn't even about him. I was just mad about the I'm mad about the platoon. And then he said something that set me off. And then so the drill sergeant was like, okay, well, I understand, but he was like, but you can't do that because that's assault in the army. And because I pushed him a little bit, I literally shoved him by the shoulder. I was trying to just get his attention, but I ended up I was mad, so I shoved the mess out of him. Um, then so yeah, he was like, that's assault, so you can't do that. And then he went to him. He's like, but also if you were in a real world situation, somebody slapping the taste out your mouth for saying something like that. So he pretty much gave it to both of us, and he was just like, y'all gotta do better. This can't happen again, and we didn't get in trouble for it. So I was just like, okay, like yeah, that's fine. I'm just like, we chopped it up. We was cool. We just kind of stayed out of each other's way for the rest of the cycle. Um, Even though we're in the same base now, we're in the training base, but like we still don't even time we see each other, we don't even like look at each other. It's just it is one of those things. Like it's like, all right, we interact. We're cool. We're cool. It is what it is. We probably not gonna be friends, but we cool. Um. So after all that, that's what we were going to arrange. We were on the range for a while. We had this one guy who loved to take ammo, or he tried to take ammo one day, and they had the most aggressive shakedown. So normally their shakedowns are just like, yep, you good. Turn around, you're good. Go, get your stuff ready, like, and get ready. That time they grabbed everything, shook it down for everybody. We were there for so long because the one guy who was new to our company, he came from another company. He got kicked out of their company, and his like literally second day at the range, he decided, oh, I'm gonna take some ammo back. Like even though they adamantly say don't do that. It was so. Oh, it was that man. Oh, that man had me so mad. He was the worst. Oh my gosh, he ended up getting kicked out of the army. Like pretty sure he's still there waiting for his getting to leave, but he's getting kicked out. Like he's still at basic training. Everyone else is gone. Um, I had another friend there. He ended up breaking his hip. I actually should text him. Yeah, he ended up breaking his hip, and so he's also getting medically discharged. But like, so he's probably still there too, and I just feel so bad for that because we had a couple guys who quit at the beginning, like they wanted to go. They decided depression. I'm pretty sure they no one of them I know was depressed. The other one I didn't know him, so but I know they both cited depression. That they got medical discharge, and yeah, so they ended up leaving at like week 7 or 8, and we had 10 weeks of training. So it was like they were there for the entire time. So after the range, nothing really exciting happened in the range. I mean, I shot like 36 out of 40. It was cool. It wasn't, I could have did better, but my targets didn't pop up, and it threw me off, and I had like bad callers. Oh my gosh, if so we had to call the next one for the people. We'd be left, like left 50 meters, right 100 meters. They would call once every like 6, and I was just like, bruh, like just call it, just let me know when it's coming. Like I just need to know this. They would. He was terrible. I was so mad because I could have had 40 out of 40. There was only one person in our entire company who had 40 out of 40. Even though our platoon had the best, we had the best shooters. We had the highest, we had the highest percentage of shooters. Then so, double take on that. Yeah, that's not reaching. That's not reaching. After that, what happened after that? That guy also almost got into an argument with, but I calmed myself down before because he was also a jerk. Man, it was a cop from Chicago or something like that, and so he was used to being just a jerk. And we was just like, bro, you don't know us. Back up. I don't. I think that's all that happened at the ranges, honestly. So then after that, we this is gonna be a long video. After that, we did our gas chamber. Our gas chamber was pushed back because of the hurricane. So we did it. We were like one of the last to do it. Um, we ended up like we ended up doing like a it was kind of weird. Like, so some people couldn't do it because they had like asthma and stuff. Some people did it anyways because even though they had asthma. So it was like they weren't really tracking. But when we went in there, we had to have our gas mask. Some people didn't have, like a whole platoon didn't have gas masks, so they ran out. So we had to share gas masks after some people went, and then mine didn't have a latch, or like one latch, so they're like, you can't go in there with that. You got to borrow somebody's. So I ended up just borrowing somebody's gas mask. And he was in my bay too, so I made sure because I was like, I'm gonna give this back because I don't want to carry around two gas masks because I had mine on me, but they literally I just couldn't use it. So I went in. They're like, okay, do a couple jumping jacks with your gas mask on. Did a couple jumping jacks with my gas mask on. Then they were like, do. I'm getting distracted by the zombies gameplay. I should have put something else on. I love this map. They're like, do like some squats. We did some squats. Then they're like, okay, take your gas mask off. And we were like, huh? Excuse me? Gas mask off? Huh? So we took our gas mask off first for like 10 seconds and put it back on. Then after that we I got a little bit of like gas in there. It was like pepper gas. So I got a little bit of gas in my nose. And I was just like I was burning a little bit. I was like I tried to hold it in so I didn't cough and like make it worse. So after that we forgot what we did. I think they made us do something else, but I forgot what it was. But then after that, we lined up on the wall, and they're like, "This is the big part. You take your gas mask off, and once everybody has their gas mask off, like you're gonna run out." And they said like wait a couple seconds because we had to what is it we had to do? It was just like the thing. We all had to it was like a rite of passage, they said. Just go through it. So we had to all inhale it and stuff. And I think we had to wait like 10 seconds or something like that once everybody had their gas mask off. So after we did that, we so the person behind me, she had her we had to put our arms in front of us, like on the person's shoulder in front of us. I was second in line. So the person behind me gripped me so hard because she was scared that when they said go, I ran and then I got yanked back by her, and then I like made myself stable and I sprinted out. The person in front of me stopped because he was just confused. He's like, "What's going on?" And I ran right past him, ran out. And then they said like they said keep running, keep your eyes like flap your arms and your thing your flap your arms, get it off your clothes and stuff. So I was running and flapping my arms, coughing and sneezing and stuff. It was bad. It was bad. Gas mask, like I ended up we had to like bleach it and like give it to the person again. I was too sick to do any of that, so I just gave it back to him. I was just like somebody threw up in the chamber, like in the chamber. When I walked in, I saw it on the floor, and I was just like, bruh. This is gonna be crazy. I tried not to look at it. I was like, I'm not gonna throw up. I'm not throwing up. I don't want to throw up. It was bad. At some point, I got so sick. I started like coughing, like throwing. It was bad. Like that was when I was sick. I was sick for like a solid like 6 weeks. It was very bad. I lost my voice and everything. It was like people were just like, bro, you've been sick for too long. And I was like, yeah. So then we had this one guy. So this is like around that time, right before the Forge. We had this one guy. He was he ended up being our soldier of the cycle, but I'm pretty sure he got that because he would snitch on us. Cause one time, me and this other guy, we went upstairs in the bays. We weren't supposed to, but we needed to put some stuff like in our bays, and they were in the classroom doing mail, and I was like, I don't got no mail. You got no mail? He like, I don't got no mail. So we were like, we ended up having mail that day, but oh, I'm about to die here. Yep, that's demotions. Promotions into demotions. That's crazy. We ended up going upstairs, and we were we're just like, well, we don't got no mail, so we'll just chill up here until they go cause until they go to what is it? Until they go upstairs, because we did it before, but then we saw this one guy, and I was just like, we were like, he was like, "What's up, man?" And he was like, it didn't say a word, shrugged his shoulders, and then I was just like, that's a little weird. All right, and then we look around. He had a notepad in his hand and a pen, and we are just like, I was like, huh, that's strange. So I told him, I was like, hey, bro, let's go back downstairs. And he was like, why? And I was like, I'm pretty sure he's snitching. Like, why is he up here? He's on the third floor. He should not be in the second floor. And he got a notepad in his hand. And he was like, you right, I didn't even peep that. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's snitching. So we went back downstairs and collected our mail. It was, oh, dang, I died here again. Yep, that's a demotion right there. So we ended up collecting our mail, like getting our mail. That might have been a different time, but somebody got our mail for us. So yeah, and it was just like, ever since then I was wary because I was like, oh, they're snitches around here. They some snitches around here. Like ain't everybody. It's not one team one fight no more. We hit that part of the cycle. It's not one team one fight. It's every man for themselves apparently. So after that, what was the next thing that like happened? Oh, so after that we had the forge. The forge sucked 10-mile ruck march, which ended up being 12 because for some reason we always did 2 extra miles. Like so, our first one was 5. We ended up doing 7. Then our second one was or I think the second one was like 7. We ended up doing 10. And then it were like 8 or something like that. We ended up doing 10, and then 10 we ended up doing 12. I don't know why, but shoot. There was this event that happened during the forge. So the forge wasn't that bad. I mean, I hurt our boots sucked. We had those basic ass boots. But we had a chance to buy new boots, but mine weren't broken in. They wouldn't have been broken in. So I decided to stick with those boots, which is a huge mistake. At the end of the ruck march, I was limping so bad that they're like, if you got to go to sick hall now, like, go. And I literally couldn't walk, so I was like, I gotta go. So I went. We ended up spending the entire night waiting for them in like a truck. That was the only sleep I got the entire trip. It was in a truck waiting for the doctors to show up. So I don't even know how much time passed. It could have been like 2 hours. It could have been like 6 hours. I don't know. But because one of our drill sergeant was in there with us, and he fell asleep too. So he literally told us it was an order to go sleep, and we were just like 40 rounds, drill sergeant, 40 rounds. So we fell asleep. Then they woke us up. This is the thing that got me heated. They woke us up. We went to sick hall. They're like, okay, all I could do for you right now is pain medication. So they gave us They gave me pain medication. I was like, thank you. I had to wait till I got back to take it because I suck at taking pills with water. But we went to sick hall. In the so after sick hall, like, all of us, we ended up having to walk because drill sergeant was gone, so they drove us there. We had to walk back to our company. Everyone who had feet issues had to walk back. What sense does that make? It was hips and feet that we were there for, but we all had to walk back. There's a truck right there we could have taken. They're like, no, you guys have to walk back. That wasn't even our drill sergeant. That was a different company's drill sergeants. That was Delta Company's drill sergeants. We were just like, or either Delta or Charlie. I don't remember which one. But we were just like, this don't make no sense, but whatever, we got to do it. So we walked back. We walked back. We did all of this extra stuff. Like, we sat there for a couple hours, waiting for our drill sergeant to pick us up. And there was 3 of us. 3 of us from what company were we? Bravo Company. Sorry, it changed. I mean, it didn't change. It changed for most people. We were waiting for our drill sergeant for Bravo Company. So we had like 3 hours sitting there, and we were all like leaned up against this tree. Then like an hour left. There one of the drill sergeants came and was like, "Y'all get off that tree," and we were just like, "All right." So it was like annoying because it's like why do we have to get off the tree? What is the tree like? What is us leaning up on a tree while we're hurt? You know, do like does that hurt you? You hate the tree? But yeah, it was just annoying. Then we went to what time is it? I gotta get ready. Okay, I gotta pick my sister up from the airport. Then so we went to we got back to our company. They were like giving out MREs as breakfast. MREs are terrible. I hate MREs so much. MREs are the worst thing ever invented. So we got MREs for breakfast. Then we went to we had to do something. I forgot what we had to do. In the morning, in the daytime for the forge, you really didn't have to do much because we had like events during the night. That's what we had to do. So we really were just pulling security and sleeping. I had to stay awake because the guy next to me in our group of three, one guy he was solid. I didn't have to worry about him but we had to have security. We had to have 50% security at minimum because what happened at the last one, at the anvil. So we had to have 50% security at minimum, and the guy next to me kept falling asleep. So I was just like, bro, I'm so mad, and he's my roommate now in my next in my duty station, not duty station because we're in training still, but we're in job training. So he's my roommate now, one of my two. But like, bro, I was so mad at him because I couldn't sleep because every time I would fall asleep, I'd hear him snoring. I'm like, bro, you're supposed to be on security, so I'd have to wake him up, and like I was so mad. And then the first night, the guy next to me, we call him Donald because I mean it's his first name, not his government, but we had like five of them. So Donald, he was like, that's what I had to do. I had to keep waking him up the entire night. And it's like, bro, you like, how can you not just stay awake? It's so simple. Just stay awake. And like, do something to keep yourself awake. Drink some water or whatever. He could not stay awake to save his life. And it was just so annoying. Oh my goodness. Mm. Mm. I'm thinking at the memorial service, he also was falling asleep, and like I was literally sitting there, like we had 6 people trying to keep him awake the entire time, and I was just like, bro, like let y'all not make a scene about it. I'm right next to him. I'll keep him awake. So I was keeping him awake. You know, one of our senior drill sergeant came up a couple times. He was like, "Hey, wake up! Like what are you doing? Like wake up!" Like so, we thought we was gonna get messed up because of him. We ended up not, but like we thought like after he was gonna be like, "You want to fall asleep during the memorials?" Like so, it was I'm getting away from the mic. I'm getting away from the mic. So after that, we were just like, I was tired. I was tired. Every night event, I was just like, "Can we just go back so I can go to sleep?" I was tired. Then so the only time I got sleep was right before the final ruck, like ruck back. We had to ruck up to a certain spot and sleep on the side of the road, and it was freezing cold. So I put on my silk tops, and the guy next to wait whoa something happened during one of those day adventures. So while people were asleep, we were supposed to be at 100% security. We ended up pulling a 0% security at that time because everybody was asleep, and the drill sergeant came over and it was like, "What the hell? Only 2 people are awake. Literally 2 people are awake, and we weren't the ones supposed to be pulling security." So we were just like trying to fix our like feet because they gave us moleskin to put on our feet too. So I miss my beard. I need to shave it. It's grown. It's a little bit grown. I gotta shave, but I miss my beard. So they have what's it called? Moleskin. We had to put it on our feet. Dang, I suck. Then moleskin to put on our feet, which makes it like not hurt as much when we put relax. Make it not hurt as much when we put like pressure on our feet in our boots. When we were putting that on, and then I took my pain medication and stuff, and then like the drill sergeant came over and was like, you guys are literally pulling 0% security right now. We're supposed to be at 100. So he gave us a warning. That was the kindest thing he ever did. He gave us a warning. So everybody got woken up. Like, we woke everyone up. It was like, we're supposed to be pulling 100%. Come on, we're not trying to get, Joe Sargent was nice. He gave us a pass this time. Let's not waste it. Because what they say is what they keep doing. You give them a mile, or you give them an inch, they take a mile. That's what people kept doing. We were trying to make sure that people stopped taking a mile. So we were just like, bro, we gotta pull security. We gotta pull security. It's getting like, this is getting ridiculous. We're at 0 right now. We're supposed to be at 100. So, we have roaming guards after that, and the roaming guards were going a little excessive. I'm surprised they didn't die from that. The roaming guards going a little excessive. They were taking people's weapons. Like, so what the drill sergeants would do is, like, they said, secure your weapons, because if you didn't secure it, you're going to they're going to take it, and you're going to get counseled, which is like getting written up. So they ended up like trying to teach them a lesson by taking their weapon, but like, as long as the drill sergeant didn't take it, it would be fine. But they took this one guy's weapon who had his sling wrapped around his arm, and like, his weapon was in his hand. That was the guy I was talking to when I was ranting. It was 412. He got petty with it after it was done. He got petty with it. He was just like, he was like, all right, where's my weapon? You got me. You unsling my weapon, blah, blah. Anyways, he ended up taking everything that wasn't nailed down. He was like, it's not secured, then, like, in your sleep. So he ended up taking people's, like, helmets, shoes, their like, some of their gear, like, he took I don't know if he took a rucksack. I think the biggest thing he took was a helmet. He took other people's weapons. It was bad. And then, so at one point he had a whole group of people being like, oh, you're like, why are you doing this? You're doing this to like give it back everyone's stuff, blah blah. And our PG, the guy who we had a PG every week, a new PG every week. But the guy who ended up doing like, the guy who I almost ended up fighting, he was our PG at that time. He was just like threatening him, like, I'm gonna have to go to drill sergeant about this. You keep stealing stuff. And then, like, I was like, I mean, he's technically not. I mean, he's not in the right, but he's not in the wrong, because he shouldn't have had his weapon unslung and taken from him. So I had to go over there and talk to him and be like, bro, like, you're going to get in trouble for this. Like, it's fine. Like, they're doing something they're not supposed to do. Don't retaliate with something that you're not supposed to do, because then you're both getting in trouble. And like, he's like, yeah, but like, they really playing with like me. Like, this is an expensive weapon. I'm like, I know. And that's why they get in trouble for taking it, because they're not supposed to be taking it. We're supposed to be on one team, but like, now you're going to get in trouble if they like end up reporting you. So I had to calm him down. We ended up he ended up returning everyone's stuff, and they ended up returning his weapon. There's like, all right, no more taking weapons. It was, yeah. Everyone's weapon I tried to take, though, I was having fun with it. I was trying to take some weapons, and everyone, like, I would pick it up and then wake them up. I took it, but like, everyone was just like, they were on top of it that I tried to take. One guy, he literally had it out, and then I grabbed it and tried to slowly move, and he grabbed it so quick, and I was like, dang. He was like, you're not gonna get me with that. I was like, good stuff. I could not like disparage him, because I could not like say anything, because he was secured. But yeah, then the last night we were rucking back. We ended up having to like, I ended up seeing things like while we were rucking. Like, I saw a white tiger following us on the side of the road, and I was like, what? Like, I was flabbergasted. 412 was behind me, and then I was like, bro, did you see that? And he was like, no, I don't see nothing. So I was like, I am tripping right now. So after the 10 miles, we made it. We did the celebration. We had one person pass out, and I was on the verge of passing out. I don't know if more people passed out or was on the verge. I legit passed out. I literally was about to pass out. I was leaning. I was just like falling forward, and I kept catching myself. It was bad. I was so exhausted. Um, so, like to one point, so one of the drill sergeants, he came up to me. He was like, you alright? You like stay awake. You almost did. We're almost done. And so, the RPG ended up like actually passing out. Like he had the flag, and we were in parade rest, and then he just dropped. Um, I was just like, dang, like that could have been me. It could have been me. The drill sergeant didn't. No, a couple people were just like, was like, come on, wake up, you got this. Like, some people were real rude about it. Like we didn't all like, a couple of us didn't almost pass out. There were a couple people, but they're also like the people I hope I never have to interact with again. So there weren't much. There were a couple people I didn't want to interact with again, just a couple. But there weren't much. Oh, I generally liked my platoon. I'm pretty sure they liked me. I really didn't do anything to anybody. Um, but yeah. So then after that, also that's about the time where I had to stand up because I kept falling asleep. I stayed standing like, every time. Even my drill sergeant who wasn't there, like so he was on vacation when I started standing up like during everything. Um yeah, like when I started standing during everything, I was just like I was like I was standing, he was just like why are you standing? And I was like I'll fall asleep, drill sergeant. And he was like good for you. And then so he just let it go. He's like, it was just a little weird. You're the only one standing. And I was like, gotta do what I gotta do. So that was back in the range. I'm out of order. So after that was a terrible aim. After that, we went back. Yeah, we went back to the company, and I was So oh yeah, so it was the day after that. I wish I could have enjoyed my patching ceremony because I was literally on the verge of passing out the entire time. Even my second favorite drill sergeant at the time, he was there patching people, and he walked by and he saw I didn't have a patch, and I was just like, I lifted up, I was like, drill sergeant, and he was like, said my name, like he gave me that look, he said my name, he's like, slapped it on, he's like, good job. He was my favorite until like near like it's like a tie. They're both my favorite. So I had a drill sergeant Sierra and drill sergeant Delta. They're both like my favorite. It's literally a tie because they're both just awesome, like awesome. Like every time we did like a company run or something like that, every time they called cadence, I was hype. I was like, yeah, like oh my goodness, we had company runs. Like I think we had 4 company runs the entire time we were there. But with drill sergeant and Delta, we were just like, he had this one where he was like, yeah, bravo, black, nice, and we were just like hype. We were just hype, and I was like, yeah, drill sergeant. And then drill sergeant Sierra, he had one where he was just like, army, 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 I love the army. It just got me so hype. It got me so hype, and I was trying to sound off, even though I was exhausted. I was not a runner. I still am not a runner. I hate running, actually. I honestly despise running. It is the worst thing to ever happen to human beings, learning how to run. But either way, that's death. That's death. That's straight up death. Yep, that's that was straight up death. So then we go to the story shifts to the next event, which is the eviction. We got evicted once before, but it really nothing happened. It just kind of sucked. This one was, they kind of, I feel like some of the drill sergeants kind of made it up because we had one drill sergeant who was threatening us for an eviction for like 2 weeks, and then he just couldn't do it. So I feel like he was just like, nah, we're gonna evict y'all. Like, I'm going to evict y'all. So then they ended up evicting us. Then they ended up like bringing us, like my platoon upstairs, talking about, oh, y'all got cocky, blah 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 blah. Which it was literally the day after the forge, so I don't know what like how we could have got cocky. How you can tell we were getting cocky the day after the forge. But I feel like they literally just made it up because the drill sergeants I thought were like good drill sergeants weren't there. It's so like the ones that I felt like were fair to us and like treated us like adults weren't there. The ones that like literally one of my drill sergeants were 1 year older than me. So I literally was just like, bro, like y'all just making this up to, like, to have a reason to punish us, like, because we didn't do anything. Like literally, none of us did anything. We were just like afterwards, we were all just like, why did that happen? Like we literally didn't do anything. No one knew what we did to deserve that. So I felt like they made that up. That's when I lost respect for one of the drill sergeants completely. The other ones, that was like their first time doing something like that, but he did stuff like that a lot, and I was just like, nah, I can't respect that. I was for real like, I can't respect that. I don't know what you got going on, but this ain't the move. This is not the move. And then dang, I go down a lot. So yeah, I was just like, this is not the move. This ain't it. So we went to we should have reported him. Honestly, there was a couple of us felt that there was a bias against us, and so we could have reported him, but we decided against. Like there was a huge, like we felt like there was a huge bias against us. Like the people of color, we were just like, yo, this is not right. If you were not Hispanic or you were not white, we just felt like we were treated lesser by him. So that point, that's when I was just like, no, I'm not really messing with him. He was funny. Yeah, he was a funny drill sergeant, but I was just like, I'm not really messing with him because of that. Then we had... Then nothing else really happened. We just kind of chilled for about a week until graduation, which was our last company run, which I almost made it. It's like I've definitely improved in running, because before the first company run, I fell out almost immediately. This one was like 4 miles, and I fell out at like the 3.5 or like 2.5 mile mark. Like literally, it was like half a mile where I fell out at, and I didn't even fall out completely. I stopped running for a second and walked to get myself back. But then by like that 30 seconds I stopped running was that that would put me at the back. But then I caught back up to like near the middle of the back. Then our again, like the one drill sergeant that be doing extra talk about, this is the most we've ever had people fall out. Y'all don't deserve to sing cadence. Y'all don't deserve to sound out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, we literally just ran 4 miles, which we've never done before. We've never had to run 4 miles. We've never had to run more than 2 miles. That was the first time we had to run more than that. And like most people didn't fall out till the end. It's like, also, how would you know you fell out? Because you weren't in there. You were in the front. You were in the front. You never even saw the people fall out in the back. We literally made it most of the way, and I was like, yo, I can't with you. So there was another one I was just like, bro, you tripping. We practiced graduation, and that's pretty much it. We graduated and went to our next duty station. Now I will tell you, after we graduated, we had our family day, because it was pushed behind. Like, it was since Thanksgiving, it was pushed till after graduation so we could graduate before Thanksgiving. And like I ended up doing GOVs, where the government drives me to my next duty station. So during the night of, it was raining super hard. Like, it started raining. They normally didn't let us wear our gear, so they're like, take out your wet weather gear. And like, so it started raining, and then we were chilling there in our wet weather gear waiting for the buses, because they were supposed to arrive at like, I think it was like 3 a.m. Like 3 or 5 a.m. or something like that, and we were out there like an hour before. The buses didn't show up for like 4 more hours, so we were just out there. And then at some point, I was exhausted because we were up since 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. that last. So we didn't even get to sleep. So we were up technically the whole day, our family day. So I fell asleep, took a nap during that. Even though I wanted to spend time with all the time with my family I could, but I fell asleep. So we it was like 5 p.m. that I woke up. 5 p.m. to like 5 a.m. the next day, and I was exhausted. And so after that, what we do? So we cleaned everything, like deep cleaned, and then the people in my bay weren't they weren't cleaning that well. Like they cleaned like a little, like they cleaned but not deep cleaned, and so they thought they were done. I thought they were done because I went to use the bathroom, came back, and they were laying down, and I was like, oh, so we're done. Then one person from another bay came in, and he was like, oh, y'all sleep, what's going on, y'all done? And like I was like, I don't know, like I went to use the bathroom, came back, and they was laying down, so I assume we're done. And then he was like, no man, but he got mad, and he ended up ratting on us. Like he went a ratting, the whole, like everyone in the in that section got smoked. And like I was just like, bro, you gonna rat on us? And then I had the chance to rat on him because he was trying to sleep in the closet, in the supply closet, and the drill sergeant made me and like two other people like kick everyone out the building who wasn't cleaning, and like go outside and stuff. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. You gonna rat on us, and then you gonna sleep like that? But no, I'm be that's not in my nature. So right at the end, I was like, man, I can't mess with that man. I can't mess with him. Um, After that, we sat in the rain, and I got sick from it. When I got to my duty state, my AIT, uh, I was sick, very sick, and like to the point to where everybody started getting sick. Either they got it from me, because we all came from the same place, but I feel like they either got it from me. I got down a lot. They got it from me, or they all got sick like because of the rain too. I know I got sick because of the rain, because it was bad. And like literally the last day, Joe Sergeant Sierra, he's like, don't die, because I was wobbling. I was wobbling. It was bad. And another person, he was like, hey, sit down. Like, you wobbling. Like, you about to fall. And I was like, you right. I'm mad tired and stuff. It was bad. What if I stomped on with that thing? Yeah, that's my basic training stories. Hopefully I have more time to. I should probably get ready, but I'll hopefully I can come back and record a little bit. But hope y'all enjoyed hearing my basic training stories. Glad to be back for a little bit. It's not a full comeback, just a on leave comeback. Yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the videos, because I made a lot of them. I made a lot. I still see the like views going up, people watching them and stuff. Yeah, I have nothing else really to say. I really talked for like, how long was I been talking for? Let's see, an hour. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go. I hope y'all enjoy it. Like the video, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Bye.